Okay, so somebody's asking, a couple of these actually are kind of in line. So they wanted to know if you still follow Bill Gothard's teachings.
Oh, wow. Ginger used to barely, no, I'm kidding.
I used to barely laugh.
Yes.
Well, she went through that hyper-spiritual stage.
Oh, my word. It was so
I was going to say, Ginger used to not laugh at jokes.
But then on the show.
That's not funny. That's inappropriate. Everything was inappropriate.
It was.
Now we're getting to the good sibling stuff. Keep going.
Sorry, the banter's coming.
And it's bedtime. She was like, Joy and Austin just tell their kids it's time for bed. And the kids go to bed.
Well, see, the thing is, Austin and I, we like our night, like our few hours at night. And
We do too. What's going on, guys? Ginger and Jeremy here, and we're back for another episode. And we're back for another episode with Joyanna.
My sister.
Hi.
Let's go. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
So last time we did not get a chance to get around to questions that you guys had asked for the sisters. So we're going to do a sister Q&A, which means I'm going to host this
Jeremy's
thing.
a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Well,
sisters
I'm going to
right
ask the
there.
questions, and then I'm going to apologize to our producer right now because he's always yelling at me for being on my phone. I'm not on my phone. Well, I am on my phone, but I'm looking up questions that people have asked. So if you see me looking down, I'm not texting. I'm not
completely bored.
Yeah, I'm not.
Not completely.
I'm not on X or Twitter. I'm looking at questions. So I think we just jump into it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
We got
Boom.
Joy and
Fire
Cal.
away.
First question.
Fire
Okay.
away.
This is a good one. We're going to start with, should we start
I'm
serious?
slightly nervous.
Just start with
Should we
whatever.
start serious or should we start fun?
Well, we always like fun first.
Yeah, I like that.
Like light
All right. Funniest memory you've shared, the kind you laughed so hard you cried.
Oh,
my
man.
gracious.
Just the two of us or like family funny thing? Because
My memory is so bad. Does that run in the family?
it does. It definitely does.
Um,
But initially, like, I'm trying to think of a story, like a funny thing that happened as family. I mean, I feel like some of the funniest things were whenever, this sounds horrible, whenever guys would write in and they would have
Oh,
like
my
all these
word.
stories. Poor Joy.
yes.
I mean, we would just like, sometimes you were like, you're writing, what are you writing right now?
Yeah.
You don't even know.
Well,
You don't
you
even know
and
me.
Jana and you older girls got way more letters. I only got a few.
Okay, how about phone calls, Joy?
Oh yeah, that
There was
one
the
lady
lady
that
who
called
would call
in.
us 40 times
Can I
every
talk
day.
to Ginger?
She'd call me Bread. She'd say, can I talk to Bread?
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
'cause
that's my nickname for
gingerbread.
you.
But no, not gingerbread, Bread.
Yeah, she
You
thought
would
it
call
was
me
so
that too, but
funny.
she just was like, I need to talk to Bread. And she would call us
We would
40
put her on
times in a day.
speakerphone and set her on the table. And we were all like playing cards, and we would just put her like we'd put mute on,
was
and
very
we would just
sweet.
laugh. And then she would ask, "Ginger to the world," and then she would pass the phone. She was just a fan that got our number and would
Yeah.
call us.
And I
Wow.
think, I think that there was probably more to that we, could have worked with. But she was a very sweet lady.
Yes,
And I think that we all felt like, okay, we can just bring
It
a
made her
little light
day.
to her life.
yes.
And when we had time, we would talk to her. And
She'd
it was really
call a
sweet. But
lot.
she would call so often. And
A
then we had somebody
lot.
else who would call similar to that. And he would call and then he would be like, oh no, my mom's coming. And then he would hang up. And we're like, yeah, you should ask your mom before you call us.
Yeah,
That's
that was
hilarious.
funny.
Because our numbers got leaked.
But as far as like funny moments, honestly, I would have to like jar my memory. For
I know.
a while.
I'm so bad at like thinking on the spot.
Whenever somebody asks me like pointed questions like that, then I'm like, think of something. I don't
You know
know.
what I'd say is come hang out with you guys at 11 o'clock when we're playing cards.
Oh my.
And it's
Ginger's a card shark, apparently.
It starts to get delirious, and then that's when the laugh crying
I love it.
Oh yeah.
starts to
It's
happen.
so fun.
Late at night is the best
Yeah.
because that's when, the kids are in bed. We can just chill, relax. And we definitely, let loose a little bit and not let loose, but we have a lot of fun. Yeah, we definitely cry, laugh. But I'll have to think about a funny story because I'm really bad at remembering.
Okay. What is your favorite character quality in your sister?
I feel like Joy is very loyal and like a good listener. She's a good listener.
Okay, so Ginger's would be, and I feel like this is, I don't know how to pinpoint it. I don't know what it necessarily, like what I would put it as, but I feel like she's always cared deeply about others. And I feel like that was almost used against her. Not like she used it against herself, or she was taken advantage of in that area for a long time, or she let herself be taken advantage of because she cares so deeply for people that she would just give and give and give until she had nothing left. But I feel like she's
dry as a bone.
Yeah. But I feel like you're so balanced now. And I really admire that because you do such a good job of, and I was telling you that just the other day, of your home is a place where people can come and feel comfortable and you take care of them and you're such a good host, but you're in a balanced way where you're still not overdoing it for yourself. And I'm sure you have those times where you do, but you care so well for other people and you're aware of their needs. I feel like
very sweet.
And I really admire that about you.
That's so sweet. Don't feel like that all the time, but thank you.
Okay. If you had to pick any place in the world to visit, what place would you choose? And then I'm going to add to that.
Together? Like, let's go on
I say as sisters. And then I'm going to add to that, if you had to choose any other place in the world to live than where you live right now.
Okay.
Where would you choose?
Okay. Like country?
Any place.
Like place. Okay.
Oh, any place. That makes it
So let's start with a vacation.
Well, Jinger wouldn't want to do a lot of the things that I would do. So let's go.
Ski.
Oh, I would do skiing.
I would do a skiing trip.
Okay.
I want to ski. Honestly, do you know what I want to do? I want to go play broom ball.
Yes, that does not surprise me.
I have been wanting to play broom ball
I do not
forever.
like broom ball.
Like, as soon as I have this baby, I'm going to play broom ball. So bummer.
Hilarious.
Okay. We could play
I think they're looking for like place to visit.
Oh, I know. Okay, sorry. I just got distracted with ice. And it just leads me to broom ball every time. Broom ball. Okay, so
we could go up the
I feel like we could go. Well, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like anywhere. I
like a skiing trip.
I was gonna say Montana. Montana is stunning, and there's so much to do there.
You like national parks?
I do.
I don't love national parks, so this is where I would go to a city. Joy would go to
I would go to a city with you because Austin doesn't like cities, so I would go with you.
There we go. So let's go to a city.
To a city that would be fun.
What city?
I always think New York first. I have not been to New York since we filmed in New York. It's been years.
I should have invited you on the last New York trip I just did.
Yeah, you should have.
That would have been fun.
I'm kidding.
When did you film last?
Opportunity.
What?
When did you film last there?
Oh, I don't know. When did we film last?
Like
I was
you were
young.
a little kid?
No.
It was when we were filming. Yeah, I have not been back to New York. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I've been back to New York.
It would make sense.
But yeah, Austin does not like cities at all. So if he has to go, he'll go. But like, honestly, coming to LA is a big deal for him.
It is.
He's like, I'm ready to get home.
I'm telling you, though.
Country life.
New York, we should do New York at Christmas time.
That would be awesome.
That is when it's so dreamy. It's cold, but it's also beautiful with all the lights, the decorations. We should do a sisters trip at around Christmas time, like right as they put the decor up.
Yeah.
Let's go. I would do it for real.
That would be so fun.
What's the place, if you couldn't live in Arkansas, you couldn't live in LA, where would you live?
Where would you live, Joy?
Either like somewhere out west. So like Wyoming or Colorado, or Texas.
Okay.
I would say LA just because y'all have made a great... Okay, so
Look at that.
This is what I told Austin this week. I said, I could live here.
Yeah,
just because, now I would not pioneer here, but just because I know you guys and then y'all have like such a good community here, I could see myself making it here, but I don't think that we would ever move here. Just because we love Arkansas.
Yeah, Austin, I could not see Austin living here.
Austin's definitely not a California guy.
Nope, not long term.
Yeah, but
he
Austin
likes the weather.
has perceptions of California that I think, like, there are places in California with land.
Oh, yeah.
You get rural.
Well, and being here, I feel like after we've been here for 4 years, every January or February. So for him to see it, I feel like it's slowly rubbing off on him.
Well, I remember one of those trips, we didn't do a ton. And I remember thinking, man, I have failed Austin. I don't want him to think Los Angeles is boring. So then the next trip, we went rock climbing at Point Doom in Malibu.
That was a highlight.
And we just went out and did adventures because I'm like, Austin, we can have fun in Los Angeles. Like we can go hiking. We can
Jeremy was so determined to make it the best time ever.
Yes.
He was like, we will not.
Well, I want Austin to want to come visit us. I don't want country boy to be bored out here, you know?
Jeremy's like,
That's
I got to
awesome.
impress Austin. Make him want to come back.
Totally. So where would you live?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ginge.
Well, I had always said New York City would be fun to live. Like, it would be fun to live there. But then with the more kids you have, realistically, it would be tough. I think if we moved to Europe for like a couple months, that would be super fun. I wouldn't say long term I want to live in another country, but somewhere in Europe, like, let's just live there for a couple months. Let's go there over a summer. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I've wanted to take you and the girls to Sweden and Finland.
Yeah. Finland is cold. I did not say Finland, though. I did not say that.
Well, during the summer, it's really hot. And it's
it depends on when we
It's
go.
light all day.
I don't want to go when you have to hop in a cab to go less than half a mile away.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because like the negative temps.
Yeah.
I would not
Oh,
want to
yeah.
go then.
Yeah, but
'Cause I get too
Sweden,
cold.
Finland in the summer, beautiful.
Okay. We'll have to try that out.
I don't mean to give you your answer for you.
I do want to go there though, because I feel like just knowing that you lived
Yeah.
there, it would be special to
Oh,
go
it'd
back
be cool
and
to
meet your
see people. Yeah,
friends,
yeah.
to see where you lived. We're going to take a quick break from this episode to tell you about Cozy Earth.
Yeah, and I've got an important announcement to make about Cozy Earth.
Go for it.
Not only have I switched my entire wardrobe over to Cozy Earth because I've never felt something so comfortable,
I love it.
but I always wear socks on this podcast, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
I got my Cozy Earth slippers.
And you have a sticker stuck to the bottom
Jinger,
because we have kids.
I'm not wearing anything else.
I love
It's
it.
unbelievable.
Cozy Earth products are designed to transform your 5 to 9, the time that matters most, into the coziest sanctuary. Luxury starts where you rest.
And luxury shouldn't be out of reach, which is why for our listeners, you can go to cozyearth.com/Jinger, Jinger, because that's your name, and use code Jinger, Jinger, for 40% off. So we love using that code.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it accessible.
I'll tell you, the sheets are a game changer.
Yep, big
We
time.
love it all. They have bath towels. They have amazing pajamas. We actually just gifted your mom and sister some
Oh, yeah.
pajamas from Cozy
Perfect
Earth
gifts.
because they are incredible. I mean, they're buttery soft. So go ahead and use my code Jinger to get 40% off of
And
your order.
Get yourself a pair of slippers. These things are unbelievable.
Do it. Go for it.
All right, we're back to the episode. Okay, can you talk about how your sister relationship has changed or grown over the years?
Oh yeah. I want to hear what you have to say. I think right off the bat, we have gotten so much closer than we ever had. And I think some of that is just life that happens. And even though we live further away than we did, in our same bedroom.
Yes.
I'm
You
just
do
like
it
10
further
feet
than
away.
10 feet, yeah.
I'm just
5 feet
saying,
away.
it's different because when you walk through life and you're in the same season of life,
Yes.
there is a sweetness and there are also trials. You walk through the same trials and like growing up in the same family, it just kind of, there are things that you are experiencing that you can talk about with your sister. And I feel like we also don't have as many, like, I don't know how to say it, walls up. Like we're
Yes.
more chill and we're more real about what we're walking through.
Yeah.
Than we ever have been. And that's what's really cool.
Yeah.
Is like we're not trying to put on a show for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just easier.
Yeah. Which I would say the same thing. Like, I think as we've gotten older, the age gap has closed.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it maybe took a little bit longer for that age gap to close because you normally feel like when, from 14 to 18 or 17 to whatever is not that big of an age gap. But we really haven't connected until since having kids, really.
Yeah.
And then even then, I feel like we both I have a very similar testimony to you of having my walls up and I felt like I had to have it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in the last 3 years, I've really learned that we all have problems and we all have struggles and we're all a mess. And, motherhood is hard. And I feel like you've learned that and just to be real with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for both of us, that's helped us in our relationship, just to be honest and open. And
Yeah.
we don't have the pressure of we have to talk every day or we have to talk every week. A month can go by or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like we
just pick back up
and just talk.
So great.
Yeah. And it's really great.
That. And I feel like it's been super cool to see. I think even in our development and growth in friendships outside of our family, because maybe for us, we were more guarded and not as trusting of people.
Yes.
Growing up in the public eye, that's something that comes, it's more natural for us to just be more sheltered and not share a lot with friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I loved seeing even you kind of, paving a way even for me and how you had like these 4 girls, 5 girls, however many it is around you that you're hanging out with. A couple of them sister-in-laws, some others, some friends from just around the area. But you guys becoming really good friends, doing fun things together, hanging out, like that developed your growth a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw that in you and I was like, oh, wow, I really want that too. And so it pushed me to like even allow people into my life more.
Yeah.
Because I saw how you were handling that. So it's been really sweet. And I think that that growth also then allowed when I was opening up and talking to friends around the community, then I wanted to do that with you as well. And the other sisters, because it's like really sweet whenever you can have those real, raw, genuine conversations.
Yeah. Well, it's so important. And that just jumping off of that, I feel like community has been a huge thing that I did not realize how important it was. And it's one thing to have family, but to have people that aren't just like you in a group that do parenting maybe different or that have different views on whether it's raising your kids or they may not be as like routine structured as you are or whatever, but having people from just different, that have different views or just have maybe different walks in life, but that they all love Jesus is so important. And I feel like for the longest time, I was like, they have to be this way and they have to be just like me. But to realize that we can be different and still come together and build each other up and have our thing in common is Christ. And we want to grow spiritually. We want to be better moms and wives and influences to other people has been so important. And so I'm so happy that you have that. And I know that you said that you have your mom group and your friends that have really poured into you. It's so important.
I love it.
Okay. Someone asked, did you guys ever see yourselves living this type of life? Kids close to the same age, kind of like on the same life trajectory at the same time, like you two specifically with each other?
I didn't think much about that. Did you, Joy?
I did. Not like, oh, I can't wait till I have whatever. But I always did see myself as I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to have, back in the day, it was 10 kids, but that's changed. But I wanted to have kids. And so I did see that. But I did not imagine both of us doing it, I guess.
Pretty much at the same
time. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're pretty much the same ages besides Gunnar.
Yeah. Gunnar. And then now I was like, I took a longer break.
Yeah.
Between our Evie and this little boy.
But it is really cool to see that we have the same, like we're in the same season together is awesome.
It's super fun. I love it.
This is a good one. I think I know the answer to this one. I'm curious Joy's answer too, though. What are y'all's plans within the year you wish to accomplish? And there's a little y'all in there for you.
Y'all. Okay. Ginger said y'all the other day.
I know. It slips out. She says
whenever I'm around y'all, it comes out because I start to slip into that. I start to talk with more of an accent and it just happens.
So plans for the year? What's something you want to accomplish this year?
Oh, man.
Go for it.
Well, so we'll start with family stuff. We are hoping to buy some land this year and build a house. So that's like a huge goal for us. And then as far as that, I mean, we just want to be consistent with the kids and ministry. So I think that's pretty much all of our big goals.
I love it. Big goals for me. Have this baby.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
goal.
what I thought you were going to say is have a baby.
Oh my word. Have the baby and then figure out what to do after that. That's my goal right now because I feel like I had released people pleaser. That was my thing I did. at the beginning of this year in January. And then now it's baby time. And then after that, I just want to I think the newborn season is always a little tricky for me and hard. Like it can be overwhelming at times for everybody who's in the newborn stage. So I think I want to just handle it well and also realize I think a goal for me is honestly not to pressure myself to have to do everything by the book or as other people may assume it should be done.
Yes.
In those newborn stages. And just to figure out what works for us in that season so I don't get back to that place where I just feel so overwhelmed or, the fears of postpartum depression, all that come around. And I just don't want that to circulate again. So I think just setting realistic goals for myself. Okay, if that comes back up, it's okay. I don't have to nurse as long as I did with the girls or change things up. So being okay with change, I think, is something that I'm trying to prepare myself for. You don't have to do it all as you did it before.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just right now, that's just front and center. And then after we are there, we will see what happens the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Hey guys, quick break from the episode. And we want to tell you about a very cool product for those of us who might be experiencing some hair loss. And that is Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in less than 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. I just have to say, I had a friend who started taking Nutrafol and shortly after she noticed so much hair growth, especially postpartum. So I'm excited to be taking Nutrafol throughout that time because no one wants the hair loss.
Yeah, it affects so much. It's not just hair. It affects your confidence. It affects how you go out into the world every day. So Nutrafol is such an incredible solution. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code JANDJ. That's JANDJ.
Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code JANDJ. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code JANDJ.
All right, guys, back to the episode. Okay, so one of the questions that keeps coming up is how, with such a big family, do you guys stay connected to your siblings? And then I guess they often were asking, how do you guys stay connected? I think you guys have talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Calling and stuff. But how do you stay connected
with everybody?
So many siblings. And
it's
maybe
hard.
But you live there.
Yeah. So I live probably 35-ish minutes from everybody that lives in Arkansas. And it's definitely hard to keep up with all the siblings because I was telling somebody asked me the same question. I was like, if we had one sibling over a week, it would take 19 weeks to get through everybody.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time that goes by. And anyway, so I feel like we connect. I think we naturally connect with some more than others. And whether it's we go to church together, we'll see them or whatever. And then some of us I'm really close to a couple of the sister-in-laws. So we see each other quite a bit working out together. And so it is harder to stay connected to everybody, but I feel like we all have a good expectation for everybody. We don't feel pressured like we have to do this together or we have to whatever. At least that's how I feel. And I don't feel bad about, I haven't talked to this person this week. Because that would be, I have my own family to take care of. And so it's hard to balance how much do I reach out? How much do I not? And I want to spend time with all of the siblings. And so honestly, it's probably once every 6 months we'll have one of the siblings to our house. We'll rotate. So every 6 months we'll have whatever, Joe and Kendra over, or we'll have another sibling over, or we'll go to their house to hang out. And so it is definitely hard because all of us we all have our own friend groups. Church.
And you're seeing them at church, you'll see or you'll go out to lunch after church.
Birthday parties. We'll see each other randomly here and there, but it's not like we all hang out all the time. And especially Austin and I, because we do have our church family and our a lot of close friends. Now that we've grown our community over the last few years, we don't see the family as much as we used to. So just because we're busy, and then we try and safeguard a few days just for us a week.
Yeah.
That's so good. Y'all have done a good job of that too. Just like, even you said through the holidays, you wanted to like stay home a little more, have some more family time, get in a good routine for what works for y'all. So that's, it's great. I like it.
But how do you guys, I guess, with the different siblings, because it's different for you because you're here in LA. So I feel like it's either easier or it's harder. Because I feel like back home I have the pressure of like, they're in town, so it's easier.
Right.
I don't have really an excuse to not go do it or have them over. But how do you balance that?
I think that for us, whenever we go back to Arkansas, I will take those days, however many days it is, and just go meet up with as many people as I possibly can. And I usually leave that time so exhausted, like so excited that I was able to have that time, but also completely wiped. Jeremy just knows to expect it because there's so much energy, motion, all these things, because we're going nonstop. Because living away, I don't get to see a lot of them. And so I mean, we have quite a few will come out and visit. You guys come out and make it a point to visit like each year. Ben and Jess have done that. And we have like James, Jason, Jana. They've been out here a ton. And so it's been super sweet. So I have those who, will come out and we'll see more often. But then like with younger sisters or something like that, it's like, oh my goodness, they've grown up so much. I want to like hear what they're up to. But then we also have just so many people. So there's so many moving parts that I can quickly start to feel bad. Like, oh no, I didn't get to connect with the sibling, or I didn't have time to go to a one-on-one dinner with a whole bunch of them. And like, I want that, but I don't have all the time, because if you're there for a weekend, if you're there for 5 days, that seems like a lot of time.
Yeah.
But when you have 19 siblings and then you have the in-laws with that, like their spouse, and then you said 39 grandkids. Yeah. I struggle to remember all the names of the grandkids.
Oh, yes.
I have most of them down, but there are just a couple, and the newer ones, they're more added, all the time. So I feel that pressure, and like, it's not, no one else is putting it on me.
Yeah.
It's me.
It's that you put on yourself.
Because when I go back, I'm like, oh no, I feel so bad. I didn't get to connect with them. And then it's kind of like, oh, well, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I can, we have FaceTime, but I'm not FaceTiming everyone every day. I feel like I FaceTime I say the older sisters. You're an older sister in my mind. Like, not my older sister, but the older girls.
Yeah.
And I will just stay in contact with them more. And James calls a lot.
Yeah, but when y'all came to our house, I feel like you were trying to schedule like, okay, we can do breakfast with this family, dinner with this family, but you were only there for like 3 days, 4 days. You only have, what's that, like 9, 10, 12 meals. And so you physically cannot go to a different person's house for every meal.
But the family travels in packs.
Yeah. So it ended up being
Josie, you get Jenny and Jordan.
Yeah.
And,
like we ended up having to like group a bunch of them together. Hey, we're all going here. If y'all want to see Jinger and Jeremy, try and make it to this meal, this meal, this meal.
Well, that was really special when we came back for Christmas and we were there just
right before Christmas.
Yeah. And for your birthday. And you organized everyone to go to Topgolf.
That was so we had special. To book the package deal because there were so many of us.
Oh my word. That was
it worked
a highlight.
out so good because pretty much everybody in the area was able to make it.
Yeah.
And
we only had a couple maybe who couldn't, right? But then
to that specific one, but you got to meet up with them later.
Yeah.
And
that
it worked
was
out
so much fun. I feel like that day was a huge highlight. Having everyone together. Sadly, you weren't able to be there because Evie got sick for just a little bit.
What's interesting is people often ask Jinger, like in these questions I'm going through, and there's so many about how she stays connected. But it is really like any other family. When you have little ones, when you have, whether you've got work, you've got kids, you've got church, you've got friends, you have to be very intentional about, hey, we're going to spend time here and here. So just because you live there, I mean, you could, there's people here that we live 5 minutes from that we're not going to see and hang out with unless we're like, hey, let's get it on the calendar.
Yeah.
So it's just about that intentionality. And also part of it is when I go back to Arkansas with Ginge and see the family, everybody's doing their own stuff, which is cool to see. Like, you know, they all love hanging out together, but then they do have their communities. And not everybody goes to the same church. And so they have their different church communities. John's over, you know, building Medicor or whatever, and he's got a community there and he's doing projects. And so when people do come together for a wedding or for a meal, it's really fun to catch up and hear what's going on. Like, hey, what are you up to?
Yeah. Weddings do bring everyone back. Yeah. And that's super fun. Jana and Stephen's wedding was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
I feel like having
and it was in Arkansas.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Arkansas.
So it was like everybody came
It was
home.
easy.
Yeah.
It was easy for everyone to be there. And then the crew, a lot of the crew came back for that one, which was so special. So having like this massive family gathering, and the wedding was small in our minds. It was small. Yeah. How many was it? 500?
Yeah.
But it was like for Duggar, you know, weddings. And then she also married into a large family. So even with just our two families coming together, there were a lot of people. But she kept it more intimate. And so it felt like you were able to get around, talk to people. Our closest friends were there from like who we grew up with, you know, and it was such a sweet time. So I feel like whenever you have those moments where everybody's back together, it's super special. And then you have like your old friends, the crew, all these people. I don't know. There was something really sweet about Jana and Stephen's wedding that I loved.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's do rapid fire here. Which one of you is more creative?
In what way? Because I'm not. I can't think outside the box.
That's a that's not a rapid fire question. Then I guess I was like Jinger in style and like she has good taste.
Creative,
definitely creative.
I cannot think outside the box. When it comes to normal stuff, I'm like a creature of habit.
Like more hands-on stuff, I would say probably me, but not in like a negative. You know.
Joy is for sure, because I don't have that.
Which one of you is more funny?
Joy. Joy is for sure funny.
I don't think so.
I can be funny, but I feel like I've been
Jeremy's
more
humor has definitely run off on you.
Yeah.
Jeremy's more of, yes.
He's really
for sure.
It's good.
Ginger used to barely, no, I'm kidding.
I used to barely laugh.
Yes.
Well, she went through that hyper-spiritual stage.
Laugh. Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Ginger used to not laugh at jokes.
But then on the show,
that's not funny. That's inappropriate. Everything was inappropriate.
It was.
Now we're getting to the good sibling stuff. Keep going.
Sorry, the banter's coming. I used to not banter either, so I've gotten that from Austin.
Yes.
But it's just friendly banter.
Yeah, of course. Banter's fun. Okay, which one of you is more sensitive?
Ginger.
Me. I'm overly sensitive, especially when I'm pregnant.
Maybe I shouldn't banter.
Hey, when you cry on the podcast, after giving birth to the baby, you're not going to be able to say it's because you're pregnant.
Because I'm postpartum.
It's postpartum. Yes, you don't have an excuse.
All right, which one of you is more bold?
Joy.
Me.
Which one of you is more organized?
Well, Joy. I feel like we're both organized.
We like to be. Not right now. I'm not. But Joy's been organized in my house.
Under construction. That's the only reason why. We both are really organized.
That's right.
Which one of you is more adventurous?
Me.
Joy. For sure.
Which one of you is more spontaneous? Is that Joy too?
I like to get up and go. I think we both are.
I think we both are.
We both love to do anything.
Like, we don't have to
stick anything
to a routine.
Yeah.
We hate sticking to routines.
Jeremy's like, let's go play pickleball. We're like, sure.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go drive across the country. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You as a family are up for a lot like that.
I think that's just how we grew up and we love it.
It's true. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So somebody's asking, a couple of these actually are kind of in line. So they wanted to know if you still follow Bill Gothard's teachings.
Oh, wow.
But then someone else asked, what was something in Ginger's book, Becoming Free Indeed, that maybe caught your attention or caused you to ask questions, maybe that you hadn't thought of before? I thought those were interesting.
Yeah, those are interesting. No, we do not follow Bill Gothard's teachings. And we didn't since we were married. I mean, I say that like we didn't, I never really took that as, oh my goodness, this is what I believe. This is the Bible thing. I think there were definitely a lot of negatives that came from it. But I think Austin's family was very balanced in that area. And so getting married, like we just didn't go back to the conferences just because like it wasn't our cup of tea. And so And then I feel like Ginger's book definitely, I was listening to Becoming Free Indeed. And I was already going through a lot of my questioning a lot of things of why do I believe what I believe and why is God real and all of these big things that I had never worked through. And I think Ginger's book, your book, really helped me work through a lot of that. And I think there was a lot of questions from the teachings that we grew up in that you broke down that I had never thought through that in depth. Because I knew I didn't believe it, but I never had studied, what parts do I not believe? What parts were based, or what parts had good things? Because you don't throw everything out. You're not going to throw Jesus out. You're not going to throw, your faith out. But what parts do you not believe? And like you said, the untangling, I really liked that.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think I did a lot of that. And that really helped me work through the specifics of, I need to work through these things. It helped prompt a lot of questions that prompt a lot of studying and just conversation between Austin and I.
That's encouraging,
Yeah,
Joy.
it was really good. So if you wrote it, and I think I told you, I was like, if you just wrote that book for me, thank you.
Aww,
it was really good. And I think it really helped me a lot in that season.
Do your husbands get along?
No, they hate each other.
That's why he's not here on this podcast.
Yeah,
that's why he's not sitting here. Didn't want to sit down with Jer. So Jeremy and Austin, everybody always thinks that they hate each other for some reason online.
No, not everybody.
No, I'm kidding. Not everybody. Some people don't get their humor.
It's because they're both really funny in their own way.
Extremely sarcastic.
And then they'll say things and then they won't clarify that it's a joke.
Yes.
And we have to say, eventually, they're joking.
No, you don't have to say, but you
Ginger
feel
feels like
compelled
she
to
has to say.
Yeah.
At this point,
you don't anymore.
I used to constantly, Ginger, this is something you need to learn. No, I'm kidding. But I used to constantly, Austin would say something and I would come behind him and be like, guys, really, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Damage control. And now I'm just like, whatever. I'm too busy for that. If they don't get it, it's fine.
I love it.
They can either take
more of that.
They can love him or hate him.
I know. And I think it's so funny because Jeremy and Austin, they are hilarious. And they are so fun. They really enjoy each other.
It would not
I'm right here.
They're really good friends.
Okay, here's the thing though, is people would, if I would have met you guys separately, I would not have pinned just y'all's life. Like, you would not have thought that y'all would have gotten along.
No, we're so different.
But Austin, like, genuinely loves hanging out with you.
It's a lot of fun.
He loves the back and forth.
Yeah.
But then also the conversations that you guys can have, like the serious spiritual conversations. It's such an interesting dynamic.
You can agree to disagree on so much, which is what I love about them. Like, they will have different things that they just so adamantly can disagree on.
Yeah.
And they come back together. I think that's something that's like really good for us to see because, I don't know.
We were very non-confrontational.
Like, let's not ever talk about any differences.
Yeah, we didn't have very much like confrontation growing up. Like, there really wasn't.
I felt like it was pretty peaceful and chill.
I got married to Austin's family, and they just hash it out. Like, if there's a problem, and they actually, they have whatever. They have a difference of opinion on the wall paint or whatever. It's not like, oh, well, whatever you think. They just back and forth. And then I was always, you almost hate each other. But it was just like, oh, that's normal. You can talk about it. You can have differences of opinion. And it doesn't mean that you don't like the other person. I like it. Anyway, that's just a random.
When people come together in marriage and these two worlds are coming together to join a new world and they have totally different life experiences. And it's cool to see how like an Austin shapes you and you shape an Austin and you guys rub off on each other and influence each other. And then it's cool to see the person that you guys are becoming together and individually.
How you're raising your kids.
Yeah. Okay. So that was another question was how are you guys raising your children similarly and differently? Like, have you noticed in her parenting or you and Ginger's?
Her kids are very obedient.
Oh my word. Oh my word.
We were in bed the other night and she was just saying, yeah, when Joy tells her children to do something, they do it immediately.
Oh my word.
I did say that.
We were just sitting there having a moment of jealousy, like,
our kids are very sweet. But I was like, I need to be a little more working on that.
No,
like,
they are doing so good.
Oh my gracious.
So
no, that's something that we've been working on this year because I am not great with consistency with my kids. And so that's why I've been definitely working on that is like when I say, do this, you're going to do it. or there will be a consequence. And so that's something we're working on. But I don't know, like differences.
Parenting styles. I mean, I feel like, are you more chill, more scheduled, structured?
I feel like we have the same kind of like, we have our routine, but we're not like rigid.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I mean, as you've seen, like, you're staying with us, so as you've seen Jinger interacting with the kids, are you thinking, oh, she does that, I don't do that? Or
yeah,
probably
I mean,
a lot of things.
Well, no, there hasn't been a whole lot. Like, I feel like and I think I think both of us have seen Mama, the way she parents and the patience she has. And I see that you are very patient with your kids. And obviously there's probably times when we're not here, because I have those times. I'm not going to like yell at my kids in front of y'all, but I do at home, and I have to apologize to them because I am not patient like I should be. But I feel like you are very patient with your kids. And so I don't know. I haven't noticed anything that's drastically different.
Super different.
Like our scheduling.
Well, I'll say one thing that Jinger pointed out, and it's bedtime. She was like, Joy and Austin just tell their kids it's time for bed, and the kids go to bed. And then
we have very different nighttime routines.
Our routine,
y'all's was like an hour and a half long,
and longer and longer.
I told Jeremy, we were at like 10 minutes. We were at like 15 minutes.
We did so good. We went down
and then.
But it's because we start these little things like I'll read a book, and then it's 2 books, and then they have their snacks.
And then you tell them a story.
We started a fictional character that I tell a story of every night.
It's very sweet.
See, that's really
sweet. And then we pray together.
They're going to remember that.
But then,
our kids are just not going to have that
before you know
memory.
it, it's like, hey, Ginger, we got to start at 6. So by 7:30, they're in bed. And then she's just sitting there. It's another one of those moments. I read it to Bill, and she's like, they just tell their kids to go to bed, and they go to bed.
It's so funny.
And we were just like, oh, man.
Well, see, the thing is, Austin and I, we like our night, like our few hours at night. And
we do too.
So I just decided I sing Jesus Loves Me, and I pray with them, and they go to bed. And if we're going to do anything special, we do it before their bedtime.
Preach, sister.
I'm singing Jesus Loves Me.
No, so that's it. No, that's secure. She's just said, if there's anything special, we do it before their bedtime. That's what I said.
Like at dinner?
I was like, we got to start.
Yeah, we'll do it we're before dinner.
Yeah.
Like Austin gets home, we'll do it at, and then, but yeah.
Okay, guys, this is helpful.
And it may just be selfishness on my side, but I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do. I just don't have the energy to do that at night. And especially Austin, he does manual labor. So he'll come home and wrestle with the kids or whatever before bed.
But then you've also interacted with them all day. And the problem we've had is like, I go, well, I haven't talked to Felicity and Evie all day. So I'm going to sing with them. I'm going to pray with them. I'm going to read. And she's like, that's all I've done all day.
Yeah.
So she wants me. I want to spend time with her, but I also want to spend time with them. And so it's a matter of balancing that and finding, and so we were just so impressed. Okay.
Well, so here's
if
the
he
thought
comes
that
home
comes
later
to mind.
too, that's the other thing where it's
hard.
like,
my thing is I'm all for, this is just my thought. My thing is I'm all for doing that and spending quality time with your kids. But if they can't go to bed without it, then you've created that, like that for them, they don't feel like secure and they don't feel, so then I would say keep doing it if they feel that way. But if there's things that you're like, I need to connect with them on this, then I feel like you can do that in so many ways. It's just my thoughts.
Wise.
So I will say whatever the routine is, whether it's short, long, but whatever, it is special to have a routine. I was out at an athletic event with some students driving home during Felicity's bedtime the other day. And so she calls me in the truck and says, Daddy, can you pray with me? And then, so I pray with her. I pray with Evie on the phone. And then she's like, Daddy, can you tell me a story? And it's those moments. It's like one of those moments where I'm sitting there going like, man, I'm going to miss that one day. You know, when she's not calling me, like, can you tell me a story before bed?
Yeah.
So, they're really special. Okay, Joy, you've been hustling and grinding. You've been working out. You're a fitness fiend. And so somebody asked top 3 tips for workout and healthy like living.
Oh my goodness.
With kids.
Oh my goodness.
Because part of that is like, how do you make the time with your kids and work that into your routine?
The biggest thing for me is having community that's doing it. Because if I didn't have my group of girls that's all going together, I would have given up week 2 probably. Just because it is hard. It's discipline.
Getting out of the house.
Getting out of the house with the 3 kids is a lot. But I think we're all doing it together. And so just find yourself one friend or two friends that has the same goal, that wants to whatever, whether it's weight loss or whether it's building muscle or just being active so you can keep up with your kids or whatever, has been the biggest thing for me. And then eating healthy, fueling my body the way it needs to be it's hard for me as a mom to like make good meals for myself because I'm trying to feed the kids and then I just end up eating their leftovers. But it's important to fuel yourself, especially if you're going to be that active. But that's my big thing, is having people to do it with. It's not necessarily, you can go to a nice gym. Mine has daycare. That's how I'm able, like it has mine has child watch, which is so helpful because I can take my kids with me. But you don't have to have a super nice gym. You could even do at-home workouts. I have a friend that she taught a workout in her garage and she just had a bunch of moms come. And they would let the kids play in one side and they would work out in the other, and they would just watch a workout video. And that's how she did it. So that you can be creative with it. But I think community is huge. Have people that have the same goal.
Okay. Let's do a couple more. Who do you think will have another set of twins?
Ooh.
I think me. Between us or just all of the siblings?
Not
I said
me.
between us, I think it would be me. But
you.
Really?
Because you're going to want to have more kids.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, we're going to have a couple more maybe. Between all of the siblings, I honestly could see Jason having twins. Jason and Maddie.
Yeah.
I was going to say Jared and Hannah because Jed and Katie had twins. But twins were like on her side, right?
What about Jana?
But Jana. John and Abby. Who knows? I'm just thinking of all the twins. Twins having twins is such a fascinating thing.
Normally it skips a generation, right? It's like the average thing.
It could be Jed and Katie again. I had a buddy who had 2 sets.
Oh.
And you have a mom who had 2 sets. Yeah. Back to back. They went from 1 kid to...
Oh, you told me about him.
Yeah.
Yes, that was crazy.
That is crazy.
Wow.
Maybe we shouldn't tell Jed and Katie that right now. when their twins are so tiny. When they're so tiny.
So I'm just thinking through my head, there's so many questions, but somebody asked, what was your favorite thing to do as kids growing up in the country? Maybe together or just as a family.
Hands down, I've got one.
Talk about it.
Me too.
Okay. My favorite memory and favorite thing I looked forward to do after I was done with school was to make home videos with the boys. They were great home videos too. We thought we were top notch. We would film these things and I would help Jed or Josiah edit them. And we were awesome. We had these little flip cameras that the film crew had given us just to film like for the show, but we'd use them for personal stuff too.
Duggar Studios is what it was called, right?
Well, that was finally when the boys got older. But like, I don't even know if we had a name for it, but they burned them on a DVD. And
you still have them all?
I have a DVD somewhere in my keepsake.
Oh,
but
wow.
We made some videos of us like doing some cool like tricks, driving our RTVs, like ATV things through the yard. We would do these cool patterns and we put music behind it, or we would do music videos. We would sing a song to I'll fly away, oh glory, or something random. And we would like be playing instruments. So
those were golden.
And I always looked forward to that after school.
That's amazing.
But I feel like the Duggar Studios thing, I don't know if those are still out there circulating on the internet, but I feel like people should go look those up because they were really, really funny.
They were funny. Josiah did most of that. Josiah, Jason, Jed, Jer.
That's so funny.
Pretty entertaining.
Anyway, that's mine. What's yours, Jen?
My favorite thing was at the Johnson Roadhouse whenever it would rain and it would flood in that back area right behind the sewer where the sewer would flood. There was this little like dip and it was actually quite long. And anytime it would rain, it would fill up. And then there was also this tree. We had a ton of fruit trees and we would just go out there and eat apples, pears, cherries. We had a persimmon tree. We had a whole bunch of trees there and we would just go out and like eat those all the time and feed the cows because we were surrounded by cow fields and we had barbed wire fence around us. And so we had like 1.5 acres of land in between all that. And we would go put the rotten apples that would fall on the ground on the fence, line them up, and then all the cows would come and eat them.
That's so funny.
It was so fun. So those were my memories that I loved.
Fun. Mama was awesome. Great. Like, I'm thinking, like, just thinking about this. We were like 10, 12 when she would let us drive the golf cart and the ATVs around the property. I'm like, Gideon's only a few years from that.
Yeah.
I'm like, she was crazy for letting us do all that stuff, and Pops too.
Yeah.
And then I remember so many memories, like you said, of just going out and playing in the rain. Like if there was, Grandma said no lightning or thunder.
She would check within so many miles because she was like, you are going to get struck by lightning.
But if there was no lightning or thunder, we could go outside.
Yeah.
But like that's a lot of work for that many kids to go out there and get muddy and have making the best memories. But Mom was like, sure, go out and do it. I'll just be here to clean you up when you're back. And go drive the ATV. Y'all, they taught us really well.
Do that when we had 2 bathrooms or 1 bathroom, whatever
at the old house.
The old house. She'd let us do that.
Yeah.
Those make the best memories as kids.
They really are.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's awesome.
Lots of good memories.
Hey, that was a fun Q&A.
This is great. Thanks for sending in your questions, guys.
Yeah, it was good. Joy, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for letting me hang out.
You're welcome.
It's been
Anytime.
fun.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do all the things. Turn on notifications, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.